Where do I begin? Do I begin with women? I'm gonna start with black people. I'm gonna start with us. It's Black History Month. March will begin Women's History Month, and then I'll talk to all my black women. Let's start with Black History Month. We have got to learn to become our own safe space. And by safe space, I do not mean that you just say everything is right and I agree with everything because we're black and we're right and everything is perfect. If when it comes to small businesses, we need to be able to tell one another, look, sis, look, bruh, your business is not together. Your business is not organized. You got a great idea. I would love to support you. However, you need to do A, B, C, and D. And then we need to support black businesses. We have businesses literally in every industry, but we just tend to always overlook, and sometimes we can do the same thing that white America does. We will judge all by one. Don't do that. Try as much as you can to support black businesses. We cannot build Black Wall Street or be one another's safe space when we do not understand the assignment, when we do not understand our power and our influence. The second thing is, do not always assume, especially on a criminal level, that we're automatically wrong. If we're wrong and we did the crime, we need to do the time, but the time needs to be based on the crime and not just based on our color. Not only that, we don't need to compare ourselves to the worst. I don't care what the white person you know, got away with as much as I care about how we treat and show up for each other. In other words, I do not want you to get off because you hurt a black person. So I don't want you to not do as much time. We are still victims. And whether you know it or not, we can still be victims of one another. That's the point. And whether you know it or not, white on white crime, Asian on Asian crime, all of those things occur. You just don't hear about it. All you hear is black on black crime because white America uses it as a division tool against us to tell us, hey, we can treat you any kind of way you want because look at how you treat yourselves. Everybody does that. The first primary rule of being a predator is that you prey around what you see every day. Come on, that's Silence of the Lambs. Go look at the movie. Yeah. So if I live in a white neighborhood and I'm a criminal, guess who I'm going to target? The white people around me. But nobody says that on the news. And because you don't hear it in mainstream social media, you think, see, everybody can stick together but black people. Stop buying into the stereotypes, which leads me to number 3. We cannot demand respect for ourselves when we are still buying into the stereotype. Let me tell you something. George Floyd, the killing, the murder, the execution of George Floyd on camera, that video was a wake-up call, not just for white America, but it was for some black Americans, because I know some of them. I know some of the conservatives that say, well, they shouldn't have, and maybe they shouldn't. They always trying to reason and justify why a black man was murdered in the hands of police. Now, 2 things about that. Number 1 is because we do try not to always throw the race card, contrary to popular belief. That's not our regular defect. That's not what we want. The second thing is we always want to make sure that we're not just letting people off and not letting criminals off, because I don't think any particular ethnicity wants criminals, just especially if you're a law-abiding citizen. You don't care what the color is, you just want that person arrested and you want justice done. Black Americans are the same way. So there's 2 reasons why we try to figure it out and think about it, because it makes us uncomfortable to realize that we live in an America that we're not protected and that we have to show up a certain way before you say, oh, you're different. No, I am a human being. I'm a law-abiding citizen that just happens to be black. I am a law-abiding citizen that just happens to know business, accounting, be an entrepreneur, be more than a productive member of society. I am probably one of the best of the best of the best, and my color just happens to be black. That's really how it is. However, because of the way we're always trying to pander and gain the momentum and the respect of white America, we feel like we have to downplay our race. So the murder and the execution of George Floyd gave us a relief to, and by us, I mean some of them, to breathe and to finally be like, okay, guys, you can see it. We're not making this up. Because it is hard to explain to a white America that we still are afraid when a police car gets behind us, no matter what. Yes, I just left the office with you, Bob. I just left the office with you, Janet. But when I ride home and I'm away from that, nobody knows that I'm the one who's making the decision in the office. They don't know I'm a manager. All they see is a black person in a car in a neighborhood, and I'm pulled over. I'm DWB. I'm driving while black, and that can lead to me losing my life. Those are the things that you really don't even understand. So when I say that George Floyd's murder and execution on that video was a wake up for everybody, it really was. For a lot of black people, they just didn't know what to say. They knew it occurred, but they didn't know what to say. It went from everything. You don't even know, white America, the torment that we put ourselves through, the way we have to talk with our children, with our sons, about when you're driving, how to make sure you arrive home alive, and when you're not, if you're stopped, but when you are stopped by the police. So having to deal with it with everybody else, we have got to try to be one another's safe space. We've got to be more intentional about how we show up. And then the other part is, please allow us to show up. Do not tell me, oh, I know I'm selling drugs, but hey, this is the only way. It's never the only way. It may even be a temporary pause, but then let's move to a permanent solution. Yeah, I said it. I said what I said. Yes, is there a disproportionate amount in a way that white people are sentenced? It is, but that cannot be the default, because if it's illegal, it's still illegal. So we've got to try once again to be one another's safe space. If you have insight on the business, then let's be able to share that information. I share a lot of information free because I want you to know and to have the information. And then that way, when you call me, you do not feel like you're being scammed, or when you use the services, you know you're dealing with somebody legit because I've already shown you. I've already let you know the information, so there's no need for me to hide. In that same way, pass on information. When you see a brother or sister and she's trying to recover and you don't know the situation, make sure you're able to go out and you're able to tell them, hey, you can go over here. Here's resources here. Make sure we are intentional. We have got to learn to become one another's safe space. It's been your girl, Candid with Kim. It's been your girl, the Queen Bee.